Yo, what's good? What's good, people? It's your boy Kevin with Behind the Bench. Big shout out to everyone out there. Hope y'all blessed and doing well. Shout out to the new subscribers, man. Thank y'all for subbing up, checking us out. Check out the videos by JB, Shy. Check out the videos by Kobe Bryant Film Room. Then sub up to his channel. And check out the videos by Big Dog Talk Sports. Sub up to his channel also. Both of those gentlemen do good work as we continue to grow and move forward. All right, I just checked out the Warriors and the Celtics. Pretty entertaining game. The Warriors end up winning the game, 132, 126. Great performance by Steph Curry. The Boston Celtics, very talented team, supremely talented. But at times when I watch them, I get very frustrated by the low IQ basketball players they have as a team. I don't know what it is about them, but that's the reason why they have not won a championship, in my opinion. Um, that's just me. And this game here just kind of sums up the Celtics as a whole the last few years. Supremely talented, but just don't play smart. Even going back to Jason Tatum, I think it was his rookie year in 2018. They game 7 against the Cavs, against LeBron and them. It was Tatum, I think Jaylen Brown was on that team, and Marcus Smart. When they were really the better team than the Cavs, but if y'all remember that game 7, they were jacking up all those threes, and they was bricking all those threes, and they ended up losing that series and losing that game. And ever since then, this is kind of how this group of Celtics are. Talented, but get caught up in jacking threes and playing dumb basketball. But I'm just gonna give you my quick thoughts on the game tonight, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So, to start off the game, I thought the Celtics played very well. They were aggressive, attacking the rim, dominating the backboard, using their size and physical advantage over the Warriors. And Jaylen Brown started out hot. Derek White started out hot. Jaylen Brown had like 12 points to start the game. Klay Thompson hit a couple shots early. He was going. Kaminga, Kaminga, I thought he was solid. Steve Curry put him in the lineup the last few games. He's been playing well because Wiggins has not been playing very well. So he put Wiggins to the bench. Thought Kaminga was very good tonight. So, and Jason Tatum, he kind of tweaked his ankle early in the first quarter, so he kind of went to the back and came back. But the Celtics, they were playing well. You know, they were playing very well. They was up by 10 going into the second quarter. I thought Dario Saric for the Warriors gave them very solid minutes. He hit a couple threes, and I thought his aggressiveness kept the Warriors close, so the Celtics wouldn't pull off, because at that point they were pretty much dominating. And then what they started doing also is they started attacking Steph Curry in the post, which is smart, with Drew Holiday and Jaylen Brown. And so they started getting Steph Curry in foul trouble. And eventually Steph Curry did pick up the third foul in the second quarter, and he had to go to the bench, which is very smart. I thought that was very smart. But then it's toward the middle to the late second quarter, the Celtics reverted back to their dumb ways. They started jacking up a bunch of threes. Klay hit a couple 3-pointers. And Jonathan Kuminga, with his defense and rebound and his energy, he sparked a rally, and the Warriors came back. The Celtics were up by 12, I believe. Kuminga started the rally, and the Warriors ended up tying that game. Now, during this stretch, this is what I'm talking about, people, with the Celtics. The Celtics went 0 for 9 from three-pointer. 0 for 9. And this is what I'm talking about. And this is the reason why that lead went from 12 to a tie game in a couple minutes. Because of stupid shots. Stupid shot selection. So the game is tied. It's going back and forth. Derek White played very well all throughout the game. He's going in the second quarter, and so going into half, the Celtics were up by 3. Start the third quarter, the Celtics went back to how they were playing in the first quarter. They started being aggressive, attacking the rim, being aggressive on the backboard. They were getting a lot of offensive rebounds. And then again, they started playing smart. They started going back towards the post. They were posting up Steph Curry with Jaylen Brown, I believe. And I think Tatum might have done it also, and Drew Holiday also. I'm sorry, Drew Holiday. And that they end up getting Steph Curry in foul trouble. Steph picked up 2 quick fouls. He had to go to the bench because he had 5 fouls, and Steve Kerr couldn't afford for him to foul out in the third quarter. And so in the third quarter, the Celtics, they dominated. They were dominating the backboard. They got the lead up to 17 points. But I thought a very key point in this third quarter that you're not going to hear with the media and anything else. All you're going to hear about is Steph Curry. I thought a very important part of this game, end of the third, going into the fourth, was Chris Paul. Everybody gonna talk about his offensive shooting, and he did not shoot well. But Chris Paul, his defense, and Chris Paul, his leadership, and Chris Paul with his just setting up players for good shots in the offense, it kept the Warriors in the game. The Celtics were not able to pull off. They were up by 17. They got the lead back down to 10, 11 points at the end of the third quarter when Steph went to the bench. That was a very, very key moment in the game. You're not going to hear this on mainstream media. All they're going to talk about is Steph Curry. But Chris Paul was very, very important and key in this game in that third quarter and in the fourth, going into the fourth quarter, keeping the game close while Steph Curry was on the bench. So at the end of the third, even though the Celtics were playing well, the Warriors were still in striking distance. They were only down by 11. So going into the fourth quarter, Steve Kerr rolls the dice. He brings Steph Curry back in the game. And this is key. Chris Paul, the defense, and Kuminga, the defense on Tatum and Brown, mainly Chris Paul, I thought was key. They were able to protect Steph. They ended up going playing a little 3-2 zone also. But I thought Chris Paul's defense on 2 or 3 very key possessions. If y'all watch this game, you'll see it in the fourth quarter where he's guarding Jason Tatum one-on-one. And Tatum is 6'8". Chris Paul is like 6 foot. But because Tatum has no left hand, Chris Paul was able to defend him very, very well in 2 or 3 key possessions. And they were able to, protect Steph Curry. And Steph Curry got hot. He got rolling in that fourth quarter. He hit a couple threes, hit a layup. It was a couple points where he started setting up Klay Thompson. He got hot. So when he get hot, the defense started keying in on Steph Curry. They left Klay Thompson open a couple times. Klay Thompson hit 2 big threes. And Kuminga played some very good defense. And the Warriors were able to rally because they were down by 10, 11 points. And Steph Curry sparked the rally. But the key guy was Chris Paul. His defense, his assists, and his leadership. You could see him during the fourth quarter. He was telling the other guys, hey, the Celtics, they're going to be attacking Steph Curry. And they were kind of at the beginning of the fourth quarter. They were trying to post him up, single him out. But Chris Paul was telling them out like, hey, we got to protect Steph. When they start attacking Steph, we got to go double. We can't let them take advantage of him. That was very, very key by Chris Paul. You're not going to hear this analysis and breakdown on mainstream media. But that was very, very important. You can see that if y'all watch the game, go back and watch the replay, you'll see Chris Paul tell him, hey, he pointing towards Steph. We got to protect him. Chris Paul played a very key point in this game. I think he ended up with 12 assists. Even though he didn't shoot well, this was very, very important. And this allowed Steph to go off on the offensive end. Chris Paul's leadership and defense and Kuminga's defense, allow Steph Curry to go off. In the fourth quarter, Steph Curry went off. He started hitting threes. He scored 13 points. They were able to rally. They eventually got the game tied up. And late in the fourth quarter, Kuminga played some great, great defense on Tatum. Tatum had a chance to win the game. But again, Tatum, with no left hand, if you stay on his right hand and stay on his right hip, he's very easy to defend. So Kuminga, with great defense, he made Tatum take a bad shot. He missed. The shot wasn't even close. The game was tied. He went to overtime. Now, you could see Steph Curry was encouraging Kuminga, like, yeah, man, great job, defense. They was fired up. The crowd was all into it. He was telling him, yeah, great job. And even announced, like, Kuminga, great defense. Kuminga played a great, great game. Also, Jackson Davis came in for Looney. He gave him some great minutes. He played the center. He's like a bag-up center they picked up. Gave him great minutes. He had some key blocks. You could see that Jaylen Brown with his left hand is very, very weak. There's a couple times he tried to lay the ball up real soft with his left hand, and Jackson Davis swatted that shit. You could hear him yelling, "Get that shit out of here." And that's because Jaylen Brown and Tatum don't have no left hand. If y'all watch the Celtics play, you can see the glaring weaknesses, especially Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown looks awful trying to dribble with his left hand. He like a little kid. He got to look at the ball. He like a little preschool out there. And so Jackson Davis playing the center position gave him great minutes. He gave him a double-double. I think he had 13 rebounds. I think it was 10 points, 13 rebounds, something like that, and 3 blocks. Very good minutes. So the game is tied, going to overtime. In overtime, early on, neither one of the teams were able to score. But eventually, Steph Curry hit a layup. I think Chris Paul made a shot. And the defense they were playing on the Celtics, because Tatum didn't do nothing and Jaylen Brown couldn't do nothing, the defense was excellent by the Warriors. And then Steph hit a layup. And then he hit that crazy three-pointer that everybody going to be showing on TV, is going viral. And then the Warriors were able to win the game. Great game by Steph Curry. Very, very great game. Exciting. He went off in the fourth quarter, and in the overtime he did well. But listen to me very, very closely, people. The key to the game, to me, was 2 people. It was 3 guys, actually. Mainly Chris Paul. Chris Paul's leadership and Chris Paul setting up his teammates at the end of the third, going into the fourth quarter, keeping the game within striking distance when the lead went up to 17. Chris Paul was very, very key in that game. They're not going to talk about that on TV. They might talk about his bad shooting, but his leadership and setting up his teammates was very important. Kuminga, great overall game. With his scoring and his defense, Kuminga looked great. And Jackson Davis, he helped him out on the backboard with the rebounding and the key block shots. He made 10 points, I believe, but that was very, very key. Klay Thompson had he had a solid game. He had a couple threes, but that was mainly set up by Steph Curry. So kudos to the Warriors. Kudos to Steph Curry. Amazing, amazing game. But kudos to Chris Paul. Very smart veteran game by him. He allowed them to stay in the game, and they end up winning the game. So, but, this here sums up the Celtics. At times they can look amazing with all the talent they have when they play smart. But then they go into these modes, they start jacking threes and a bunch of bad turnovers and bad shot selection, and they just look dumb. I'm so call it what it is. They look very dumb, and I don't know what's up with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown in the offseason, why they do not work on their weaknesses, which is their left hand. Neither one of these guys can go left. If you stay on their right hip and on their right hand and not let them go right, you can beat the Celtics. That shut them down. Derek White, great game. Very smart player, smartest guy on the team. I think he had 30-some points. Great, great game by him, but he don't have the talent that Tatum and Brown have. to carry the team. Those guys have the talent, but they won't address their weaknesses, and then they won't address the low IQ basketball play. This is what's stopping the Celtics from winning. If they correct this, as far as they mental between their ears, if they correct that and play smart, they'll be a tough team to beat. They'll probably be the best team in the league and they'll win the championship. But until they correct their problem, I really don't have no whole lot of faith in the Celtics. I don't care what their record is. I don't care what their seed is. Come playoff time, if you play smart, you can beat the Celtics until they address that issue. Will they ever address it and fix it? We don't know. We'll see when the playoffs come. But overall, man, very entertaining game. Just my quick thoughts on the game. That's going to be it. Video long enough. I'll catch y'all in the next episode. I'm out.